everybody, this is Nightwing2303 from sneakerfiles.com. Today we're coming at you with another performance review. Today's review is going to be on the adidas adiZero Crazy Light. And I'd really like to thank adidas for providing this product to us. We greatly appreciate it. So, hopefully we can continue the trend in the future and review more products for you guys. So, without wasting too much of your time, let's get right into it. Okay, so starting off with the bottom of the shoe, we have the traction here. It's a very interesting traction pattern. It's from what the designer said, that they tried to make the base of the traction here in the form of like a spine, which is where most of your traction base is coming from. And you have the other section here along with the heel. And then you have your round pivot points on this side. The material that it's made out of is very soft and very grippy. It reminds me of bouncing ball rubber, because it's not your typical solid rubber that you'd find on most shoes. So here's a quick close-up of everything. Like I was saying, the traction, it wasn't as great as I thought it would be initially. Everything was fantastic in the heel, and everything was fantastic along the spinal column. And then even the flex grooves that they have in place, they really broke up the shoe very well. So when you are moving in one direction or the other, you have a pretty good court feel on each of those sections, which was great. The only problem that I had with the traction was in this front toe box area. From front to back standpoint, it was perfect because it's horizontal. And then when I was cutting and moving around turns, I noticed that I am primarily on the very forefoot of my foot, right where the ball and the big toe is located. And so when I was coming off of a screen this way, or even performing a crossover and going to push off, my foot was moving in the same direction as the pattern, so I was slipping in that section due to the fact that it is in line with the direction that I'm trying to maneuver into. Other than that, the traction was good. It's indoor only, so, and it even states that when you purchase the shoe, there's a little tag that comes with it. The cushion in the shoe is very, very nice. It's actually kind of strange because adidas doesn't use any air technology or gel technology like Asics and Nike. They don't even use like Hexalite like what Reebok does. They basically use just EVA foam materials. And it actually works out really well. What this shoe has is a specially formulated EVA foam throughout. So all the red sections and then the black sections up here, not including the sprint frame, this is plastic. But so all of this in the forefoot and in the heel area, that's all of your cushion there. And I was really surprised. It was very responsive, very cushioned. It's actually one of the better cushions that I've had in a shoe besides Zoom Air. And for a lighter player, it works out perfectly. It doesn't give out or wear out like Lunar Foam would. It actually stays intact. And you can see like where there's like creases and things like that from impact absorption, and it bounces right back to the form that it was originally, which is very nice. So I really like the cushioning system in here. So this is laid underneath the TPU sprint frame, and you can kind of see that right inside the shoe there. So all of this black right here in the middle, that is that's all TPU. So you have that cutout right in the heel, and that allows the heel area to touch the foam. That's the actual foam there from the midsole. And so you have a really nice heel impact, which is great. And then the sprint frame ends right where the stitching lines are on that white nylon material. So hopefully you'll be able to see where that ends, but basically the entire forefoot afterwards is again that foam material, so that you see in the heel and throughout the midsole. So cushion wise, it was really nice, and the only thing that I had a problem with was the TPU sprint frame. Again, you can see it right in here. It's right in the midfoot of the shoe from heel all the way to right about here where the white nylon starts. And usually they come with two different insoles. These are the Crazy Light insoles, which are very thin. I used these for almost 1.5 weeks, or maybe it was about 1.5 weeks, and that sprint frame that's inside the footbed here was just killing my midfoot right here, right past the arch. I was being fairly adamant about sticking with the Crazy Light insole. I did not get the crazy cushion that it comes with. I just came with this one, so I was hoping that maybe I just needed to break it in a little bit more or something like that, and that's just not the case. It was really, really painful after every night when I take them off. So if you're going to purchase the shoe, I'd suggest not using the Crazy Light insole. It will make the shoe a little bit heavier than the 9.8 ounces, which the 9.8 is only for a size 9, which these are, and I did weigh them and they are 9.8 ounces. But I would recommend not using this insole. What I had to do, since I did not get the Crazy Cushion insole, was I had to go to Sports Authority and purchase one of these. It's called Soft Sole, and I don't remember which one it is, but it's the cushioned one. They have a bunch of different ones with like arch support and like more of a firm ride and things like that. But I used the cushion one, and once I put this inside the shoe, this gave it some added comfort. But basically, I couldn't feel that sprint frame right in the midfoot right here, because right here is where I was feeling it. So just before the ball of my foot. And once I put this inside of the shoe here, it was just a total like 180. Like the shoe was extremely comfortable after that, and I had no pain in my midfoot area. Again, right here, right before the ball of your foot, and that really helped out a lot. So even if you do get the Crazy Cushion, because I've talked to people with the Crazy Lights and they said that they could still feel it a little bit with the Crazy Cushion insole, you might want to just go ahead and purchase a soft sole. Again, I got these at Sports Authority. I don't know where else you can get them, but I'm sure they have a website, and that made the cushion even better. But overall, with the materials they use with the specially formulated EVA midsole or foam midsole, it was perfect. I really, really liked it. So cushion wise, it was awesome. Breathability on the shoe is very straightforward. It's the most breathable shoe that's ever been produced, in my opinion, as far as a basketball sneaker is concerned, and it's just extremely ventilated. The entire shoe is a mesh base upper, and you can really feel the air coming in and out of the sneaker itself, and that's pretty much all you can really say about it. It's the best ventilated shoe out there, period. So the fit and construction of the shoe is the shoe's downfall, in my opinion. They did great on the cushioning, they did great on the traction, they did great on the breathability, but when you're making a lightweight shoe, there's some things that you just cannot leave out, and unfortunately it feels almost as if they cut a few things that were extremely important to a basketball sneaker, especially one that's geared towards a lightweight, quick player, in the guard positions. So as far as fitting goes, it was true to size, fit fine. There's only some small areas right here in the forefoot on the bottom two eyelets where it was pinching. There is, that's right where they double stitched the tongue to the lower portion, and then you also have the rungs from the metal eyelets right here. So when you tie it up tightly, you can feel that pinching a little bit. The feeling goes away, which is great, after maybe like a few minutes, so it's not a big deal, but just wanted to throw that out there. The laces that it comes with are these fat, wide laces. They're not fat, they're just like tough. And so that makes it a little bit hard to tie up your laces completely. I would actually suggest to remove these completely and put in a round lace instead. That might change the weight of the shoe, but it will fit a lot nicer and it'll be a lot easier to tie them up completely and the way that you might like them. So the downside is pretty much, like I was saying, the construction. Your heel lockdown is completely fine in the shoe. There's absolutely no problems with the heel lockdown. The sprint frame that goes all the way to this section of the foot really contains that foot, so that when you're moving in this direction, like say you're going to be running and then you stop all of a sudden, that actually stops from your midfoot to your heel, for preventing your entire foot to roll over, which is great. And then on the interior section where the arch is, it's actually lowered a little bit so that you have increased maneuverability with the shoe. So when you are pushing off to start and go, you know, perfect maneuverability there with the sprint frame being lowered, and then when you're going to stop, it's very rigid and supportive on the outside. So about from the midfoot back, it was absolutely a perfect shoe. They seem to have completely ignored or maybe missed the forefoot area. The ankle sprain incident that Derrick Rose had encountered when he wore this shoe the one time that he played in it during the playoffs, I actually experienced the same exact thing every time I played in this shoe. The first night I played in them, I rolled my ankle 3 times due to the forefoot's instability issues and lack of support. You do have a forefoot toe frame right here that protects the material itself, which is nice, but the sprint frame, like I was saying, it ends right here, so you can literally like feel it. So from here to here, there's absolutely nothing there in place except for the material itself. That's with the material that they use. It's so thin and so unstable, I'm going to say, is that's the biggest key right there as to what's been going on with potential ankle injuries with this shoe. When you are running at full speed and then all of a sudden you stop because the traction, like I said, was pretty darn good, so that thing, you know, it really grips to the floor. You stop, your momentum inside of that shoe, your foot is still going, and this sprint web frame that they have here, I mean, it's so thin that it's not going to stop your foot, and it doesn't. It literally caused me to fold the material over completely. So I'm running, I stop, my foot still goes, the material still goes with my foot, and then all of a sudden I roll my ankle. They needed to either extend the sprint frame all the way to about this section. I mean, the sprint frame could have gone all the way. You might have some flexibility issues in the forefoot, you know, if you were to do that. So maybe even putting a separate TPU in place right here would have helped cage the foot a little bit better and given it a little more support and containment in that section. It wasn't an issue at all on the interior part right here at the ball of your foot. It was literally the exterior section. So anytime I'd run and then all of a sudden I'd stop, that material just folded right over, and it happened every single time. It was very frustrating. I almost got ankle injuries every time I took this thing out on the court, which was a little bit frustrating, to be honest. I did everything that I could possibly to think of to try and save my foot from doing that, and there was no way. You know, it was really disappointing. I liked everything else about the shoe other than that. So if you're playing in this currently and you've actually experienced it, that's what's going on. There's nothing right there. If you are playing in this currently and you're not experiencing that, then you're very lucky. And if you're looking at this shoe to purchase in the future to play in it, just to, you know, be aware that's what could potentially happen, especially if you're a 4-foot player, like a guard or a 2-guard. As soon as you stop, that material, it's just not supportive enough. You know, it's really a bummer. So overall with the shoe, the traction was really nice. Again, indoor only. The cushion was extremely surprising, and I found the cushion to be really nice. Again, don't use the crazy light insole, use the crazy cushion, or get a different insole altogether. The construction and the fit was fine, but the construction was the downfall to the shoe. Little to absolutely no forefoot stability in that region, could potentially be dangerous, so just be careful. If you're going to be playing in this shoe, you don't want to roll your ankles, you know what I mean? So if you're going to be sacrificing things, you have to make sure that you are getting something even better in return, and in this case you aren't. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the review, and hopefully it was helpful. And you know, other than that, what I would do is, honestly, I would wait for maybe a second version, hopefully that they see these problems already or have seen these problems and they go and fix it for the next version. You know, the risk in this case is not greater than the reward. Alright guys, so that pretty much takes care of the review on the adidas adiZero Crazy Light. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, as well as check out sneakerfiles.com. You can also check out my site, nightwing2303.com, and that's pretty much it. So thank you again to Adidas for sending these out. We really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, see you later.